Hello, welcome back. In today's video, I want to speak about why lower tacos is costing you a lot more profit in the long term. My name is Yanni, I'm a seven-figure e-commerce seller. I've been selling on Amazon for a long time now. I have over $5 million in sales just on our account. And we have a full-service Amazon agency called E-commerceware where we do all the listing creation, A+ content, Amazon ads, everything that has to do with Amazon, we do it. Work with a little bit over 20 brands, manage millions of pounds in sales yearly, and have a lot of fun. If you want any help, any advice, anything at all, feel free to get in touch with us. We're here to help. So in today's video, I want to talk about why lower tacos and over obsessing about tacos is killing your profits long term and really killing your growth long term. And I'll tell you why. So what is tacos? Tacos is total advertising cost of spend, meaning your actual cost of advertising. For example, if your tacos is 10%, it means that your advertising is costing you 10%. So 10,000 pounds of total sales, ads, and organic, and £1,000 spend, that's 10% tacos. For me, tacos, first of all, for me, tacos is one of the most important metrics, but because it actually tells you the profitability of the ads. ACOS is great, but ACOS doesn't keep the organic part, doesn't track the organic part. They only track the paid part, which is important, but it doesn't give you the full picture. Because for categories like supplements or other categories, they're more expensive and they have a big subscribe and save and a big amount of returning customers. ACOS might be very high, but tacos will be lower. Being over obsessed about tacos killing me. I'll give you an example. So a brand we're working with, they had very low tacos, 2%, right? 2%, that's amazing. What was the issue? Their sales were very low as well. They were doing about 5,000 a month in sales and the tacos was very low. And I went on a call with the brand owner, did the account audit, and I said, you're losing a lot of sales here. Yes, your ACOS looks okay, tacos is great, but because you're spending very little amounts, your growth is flat, you're not really growing, you're not fighting for those top positions, and you're getting some sales here and there, but it's nothing significant. Now, this brand was having 30 to 35% margins, so they had space to advertise. So what we advise them to do is, let's get a bit more aggressive with the ads. Let's really get aggressive. It might cost us a bit of profit in the first 1 or 2 months, but overall it's going to be a big difference. What did we do? We started really pushing ads. Things that worked, we started pushing them significantly. We checked the images, what was converting, what was not. Because what I really want to see is, how is your conversion rate? If your conversion rate is high, I always want to push ads on that because obviously it's working. If your conversion rate is low, I want to make sure we're improving that and we're not spending too much money when conversion rate is low. Because if you're getting a lot of clicks and you're converting very little, it becomes very, very expensive very fast. So we optimized images, we added actual A+ content that made sense for the brand. We did the brand store. We actually revamped the full brand from an Amazon standpoint, so it looks professional. It looks something that people actually want to buy. The listings, the main images, the hero images were looking so much better. They were showing the details that people wanted to see. His conversion rate wasn't bad, by the way. It was 15%. That's pretty good. With us, went to 24%. So it's a huge, huge spike. But even at 15%, he should have spent more on ads. Now, we started spending a lot more on ads in the following months. And what happened is, and this is very interesting, is yes, his tacos went up to 7%, from 2% to 7%. So he lost 5% on margin, but he added a lot more in sales. So at the 2% margin at about 5,000, just from memory, he was doing about 1.5, 1.3 to 1.5 in profit. We managed to scale that to 35,000 in less than 3 months. So 35,000 with a margin of 35%, you can remove the 7% of tacos, that still leaves you with 28%, or 2%, 35 minus 2, so 33% on 5,000. It's a very different number. Now, bear in mind, there was a lot of stock, so operationally nothing really changed. But that's why, for me, it's very dangerous for you to really concentrate on tacos, because tacos is important, but there is a fine line of tacos is super low and you're not pushing ads, or tacos, of course, super high and not making a profit. You want to always make sure, of course, based on margins. If his margins were 5%, it's different, but his margins were 35%, so that's a big difference. You can push. I would much rather have 10% tacos, 12% tacos, but very high sales, very dominating sales, because I know that is going to lower with organic sales and being placed in top positions. So tacos is just one metric. Tacos is really impressive. If you have a very low tacos, it's impressive if you have a lot of sales. But if you have very low tacos and your sales are very low, you haven't done much. You need to push to a certain level of sales to then really look at tacos. So just thinking about profit, at 35,000 in sales with 30% margin, they were doing over 10,000 in profit. Previously with 5,000, even if the tacos was just 2%, so 35% was their margin, remove 2, it's 33%. 33% of 5,000 is what? That is 1.7, 1 point, maybe 2,000. So we're talking about less than 5 times the profits, even if tacos was more profitable. That's why you need to be very careful with which metrics you're following, which metrics you're improving, and how you're looking at them. Because if you're looking at just the number, tacos is 5%, 7%, 2%, 3%, but you don't look at the amount of sales, you don't look at anything else, it's not necessarily right. You have to look at the whole picture. That's why when someone asks me, what is a good ACOS? It depends. 70%, 60% can be a good ACOS if your overall profit in your tacos is low. What is a good tacos? Tacos, it depends again on your goals. A 20% tacos can be good for a 40% margin product, but it won't be good for a 20% margin product. And what is the objective? Are you trying to grow the organic sales, get the subscribe and save really fired up to then be more profitable in the long term? It's all different answers for objectives. So if anyone is promising or giving you exact answers for ads, especially on Amazon, they usually don't know what they're doing. This is all about testing. This is all about trying. Every category is different. Every product is different. Even in the same categories, products can act up different. So be very vigilant of what you're tracking and don't be super obsessed about tacos. Be obsessed about growing your account profitably. I hope you liked this video. A lot more to come. Stay tuned.